Hey there, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of our Learn to Meditate video course. And I'm Kristin from Teaching Balance, and I'm happy that you are here to join us for this day 2. So before we talk about what we're going to focus on today, let me just do a little quick review of what we went over on day 1. So just as a reminder, one of the things we talked about was this idea of strengthening our capacity to have that more witnessing perspective. We talked about thinking of yourself as being up in the balcony and then seeing what's going on stage, being your thoughts and emotions and things like that. And like we mentioned before, this is something we all have the inherent capacity to do, but it's not something we're usually in the habit of doing because we tend to just be down there in the midst of the thoughts and the emotions as opposed to being a little bit more metacognitive about it. So for what we're going to do today, I definitely want you to carry that over with you as a way to continue to create some space between your observations and your awareness and what might be going on in your mind. So when it came to the homework, which of course was completely optional, one of the things I invited you to do is to look for opportunities to have those mindful minutes. If you didn't get a chance to do that, that's totally fine. But if you did, hopefully that's something that you can carry forward and that you had the opportunity, whether you were reaching for your phone or your water or transitioning, so that you can basically just pause for a moment, and whether it's for 30 seconds or 60 seconds or longer, to just be present for that amount of time before you continue to go about your day. So I'll definitely invite you to do that and continue with that even as we go forward after today. So for what we're going to focus on today, when we talked about that witnessing perspective, one of the things that's useful when we choose to be fully present and we choose to meditate, so formal mindfulness is basically where you sit for however long you've predetermined and you are going to do your best to be as fully present to your present moment experience as you can be. There are a variety of ways you can support yourself by doing that, and one of them is to focus on something very concrete. And so the practice that we're going to do today, which is a little longer than what we've done so far, is called the body scan. And so we will, as the name suggests, actually just scan through different parts of your body. And that is that concrete, specific place where I'm going to invite you to rest your awareness. And of course, we already talked about the fact that, meditation is not about trying to stop your thoughts or push them away. So when we're doing this body scan, there's no doubt that your mind will begin to wander because, of course, focusing on your left lower leg isn't particularly interesting. You probably have more interesting things to think about. But for the time that we choose, you are going to notice that your mind has wandered to these perhaps more interesting thoughts and that you're going to bring your attention back to wherever we are in that moment. So this practice will be about 10 minutes. And what I would encourage you to do is just with all of the practices that we've done thus far, to really bring that attitude of lightness, letting go of any expectations about how you think it should be or if you're doing it right, and just be willing to be present with however it may be. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to get my timer going. So again, for about 10 minutes, go ahead and find your seat or your posture, sitting or standing in a way where you are alert but relaxed, upright but not rigid. And if you haven't already, go ahead and close your eyes or lower your gaze. And I would encourage you to begin just by taking a few deep breaths, which will help to relax you and assist you in being more physically present in your body. And so let's begin by focusing on your left big toe. And if you can, without wiggling it, and if you already did, that's okay. But just noticing whatever sensation is observable in your left big toe in this moment. You might be able to feel the sock or shoe, or if you're not wearing any shoes or socks, perhaps feeling the air or a surface that your left big toe might be resting on. And if you find that there's not much sensory awareness, there's not much that you can pick up on your left big toe, that's okay too. You can just notice the absence of sensation. And then shifting your awareness when you're ready to expand beyond just the left big toe and to include the entire left foot. So all of the toes, where they connect to the foot, the ball of the foot, the arch, the heel. Feeling the ankle bone, the top of the foot. And just being curious about whatever sensations you can observe in that left foot. And then when you're ready, shifting your awareness to include your lower left leg, up through the ankle, the calf, the shin, whatever you can notice, just letting your attention rest in that lower left leg, exploring, observing, and knowing that your mind will most likely wander at some point, and to do the best you can just to notice when it's wandered and bring your attention back to where we are in this moment, which is focusing on your left lower leg. And then shifting your attention to include your upper left leg through the knee, the thigh, the hamstring, all the way up into that left hip socket. Feeling the support of the chair or the cushion, feeling your clothing as it rests on that upper left leg. Noticing where it's easy to detect sensation and perhaps where it's less easy. Just noticing. And when our mind wanders, coming back to that left upper leg. And then next, shifting your awareness when you're ready to your right big toe. Noticing what sensation is detectable. Can you feel the toenail, the tip of the toe, the pad of your right big toe, where it connects to your foot? Can you feel it making contact with the toe next to it? Just noticing whatever you might be able to notice in your right big toe. And then when you're ready, expanding your awareness to include the entire right foot. The ball, the arch, the heel, just as we did on the left side. And perhaps even noticing if there's any detectable difference between the right foot and the left. Maybe a difference in temperature. What parts of the foot are making contact with some surface. Just noticing the right foot and seeing whatever is detectable. And then when you're ready, shifting your awareness to include the entire lower right leg. Up through that ankle, the calf, the shin. What parts of the lower right leg are making contact with the surface? Which parts are not? And then shifting your awareness to take in your upper right leg. From the knee, whatever angle it's bent at, through the thigh and hamstring and into that right hip socket. You may choose to compare the right upper leg and the left, or just focus on the right, noticing whatever it is that you can notice in this moment. And then when you're ready, shifting your awareness into your torso. So from the lower torso, the pelvic floor, your bottom, all the way up to the lower back, the upper back, the abdomen and chest. Whatever is observable in your torso, including the muscles, perhaps noticing the rise and fall of the chest as you breathe. Can you actually feel your heart beating? And if you can, that's fine. And if you can't, that's fine too. And then shifting your awareness when you're ready to include both arms, from the tips of your fingers through the hands, wrist, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, and shoulders. Noticing the similarities and differences in the right and the left side. Doing the best you can to hold both in your awareness, both the right and the left hands and arms. And then when you're ready, shifting your awareness up from the arms through the shoulders to the neck and head and face. Being aware of the facial muscles, muscles of the jaw. Are there any muscles that are in use and engaged that don't need to be? And are there any that are very relaxed? And you don't have to change anything, you're just noticing. Noticing whether you can feel your eyes in their sockets. Noticing the sensation of what your tongue feels like as it rests in your mouth. Can you feel your ears? Just exploring with a curiosity and an interest, knowing you don't have to change anything. You're just observing any physical sensation in that neck, head, and face. And then when you're ready, as best you can, expanding your awareness to include the entire body, from the tip of your head, the top of your head, all the way down to the neck, shoulders, arms, torso, pelvis, legs, feet. Doing the best that you can just to hold your body in its entirety in your awareness. Feeling any contact it makes with the surface. Seeing if you can detect where your body ends and the air begins. And for these last few moments, as best you can, trying to be as present as possible to how your body as a whole feels in this moment. Maintaining that awareness, resting your attention, taking a break from feeling obligated to think, and allowing yourself to just observe and feel. Okay, so that was 10 minutes, body scan. So I tried to keep that one pretty short, especially because it was the first that we're doing together. But typically it's done for a good amount longer, probably a solid 20 minutes, if not even longer than that, which is useful because then it can be even more relaxing. The first time I ever was led in a body scan, we were actually like laying down, which is often a way to go about it as well. And that certainly can help you to relax more. The pace is more leisurely. And there's definitely advantages to that. And I'll talk a little bit more about of that, the relaxing part in a second. But what's nice about doing it in a shorter amount of time is that I think that slightly livelier pace can keep you a little bit more focused without getting too sleepy. which is what brings me to the other piece. You can certainly do a body scan if you are looking for something to support you in either falling asleep or falling back to sleep if you get up in the middle of the night, like a lot of people do. And so I believe when you signed up for this newsletter, you should have gotten a link to the body scan for sleep. But just in case, or if you lost that or whatever, I'll include that link in this email so that you can revisit that. And actually, that's really part of your optional homework, which is if you would like to tonight when you are settling in to go to bed, I would invite you to try that body scan for sleep. It's, I think, a little bit longer than this one, but the pace is pretty leisurely. I'm trying to speak very softly and trying to lull you back to sleep, and so that's an option. And of course, the reason that it's so effective for helping you to sleep is if you're like me, when you have a hard time falling asleep or back to sleep, it's because there's so many thoughts going on and sort of racing and planning and remembering, and you just kind of can't let it settle. So having that very concrete series of places to focus your attention does allow you to have something to rest your attention on other than the thoughts that are milling about in your mind. So try that. And if you would also like to keep going with the mindful minutes and seeing if there are, again, triggers like your phone or whatever it may be, to encourage you to just try to pause at different parts throughout your day and just be aware for, again, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or whatever you prefer. So that's it for day 2. Thanks so much for giving this a shot, and I look forward to practicing with you again next time. Have a great day.